I don't have bad habits.
Okay, so we have arrived at the last session for today. Finally, we have Dr. Ankit Dumaswala, who will talk about golden options for gold investment. Fun fact, gold has been the universal plan B for centuries, with all our forefathers always quoting that when in doubt, buy gold. Dr. Dumaswala, please take us through the golden days of investing. I request Dr. Ranjan Gupta to chair the session. Dr. Ankit Dumaswala is an interventional radiologist. He has experience of more than 10 years and has performed more than 5,000 procedures to date with more than 95% success rate. He is assistant editor of Indian Society of Vascular and Interventional Radiology. He is section editor of Journal of Clinical Interventional Radiology, and he has had multiple presentations and awards at various national and international conferences. Over to you, sir.
Thank you for the introduction. This has been a very interesting journey for our equity investment aspect. Learned a lot of things from the stalwarts of Surat, Babaji, Pariyar sir, even. So I am going to discuss something different. Gold, બધાને જાણને ખબર છે ગોલ્ડ એટલે લેવાનું છે, સોનું તો સોનું છે, લેવાનું છે. I discuss. Okay. So why gold is always there is no answer to this. We always take gold. Indians are in love with gold since ages, and we have the maximum about 10% of the entire gold which has been dug up is in Indian households. So that tells us something about it. Though we don't have the capacity which is held in Fort Knox, if we check the quantity of gold in our households, it will be more than 10 times the amount of gold in Fort Knox, which is the storehouse of gold, physical gold in USA. So it has got a very, very emotional value, but thinking about it logically, it is a very good hedge against uncertainties. Uncertainty can be equity, volatility, markets go up and down. It can be interest rate fluctuations like we are having. Right now we are at the peak of the interest rate cycle. So, and in terms of war situations. So, always we ask, Indians always ask, every time we look for returns. Returns for gold have been always beating savings accounts, fixed deposits and inflation. So that is out of the question that we have a very good hedge with us for beating inflation. The important question is equity. In the last 1 year, you can see there is a lot of movement, volatility, there is a lot of fluctuation. The red curve is the equity curve. Gold has beaten equity returns in the past 1 and 2 years. But if we see over the past 5 years, the returns of equity has always beaten gold. Gold will never beat equity returns. Over the past 10 years, you can see there is a 100% difference. Equities have got 100% more returns than gold. Then why do we buy gold at all? So, over the period of study of more than 40 years, the average CAG, average return that the gold gives is about 9 to 10% alone. Considering the inflation to be the official government figures are about 6 to 7%, we are definitely beating inflation. Only negative years have been few, and the largest negative return which was given in 1998 in gold. So this comes to the main question: how much gold we should take? As already has been discussed in portfolio asset class allocation, we follow our GERD allocation. Real estates we have all are loaded up. So what is left is gold, equity and debt. So studies have shown that about 10 to 20% of gold allocation is a very good hedge for maintaining a stable portfolio. If we give 10% of gold allocation, the returns, the stability, it's not visible here, but the stability of the portfolio increases. Let us move on to the graph. So the yellow one is the one with only equity and debt, 60-40% distribution. The volatility, if there is a fall, market fall, like in gold, the volatility of the equity and debt portfolio alone will be very high. But if we increase the allocation of gold, like 10%, the blue one is the 10% and green one is the 20%, we can see that the fall of our portfolio is quite significantly reduced. About one third of our portfolio fall is reduced. So what are the forms of gold? Everyone likes to invest in physical gold. I will not talk about that because everyone knows about it. So what are the other aspects? Digital gold and paper gold. Digital gold has been promoted very significantly, but I find various issues with the digital gold. Digital gold has the advantage that it can start with an investment of 1 rupee, and it is done through various third-party platforms. Even the Gold Association has come out with its own app. It's not legible here, but it is an unregulated market. There is no SEBI or there is no RBI to regulate all the entities underlying. So it becomes a risky investment option. So that comes to the whole core topic for today. I'll be discussing more about paper gold. So in paper gold, we are not buying actual gold. Actual physical gold is not what we are buying. Derivative sort of thing, a paper which tells us that we are owner of 1 gram of gold. And there are 3 ways to do that. Gold mutual funds, gold exchange traded funds, sovereign gold bonds, and there is an option of a derivative, but I will not discuss that too much. The gold mutual fund and exchange traded funds. Mutual funds, they can be bought through various various third-party apps, Coin, Zerodha, Paytm. There are a lot of applications available. There are third-party aggregators, and no demat account is required for buying a gold mutual fund. Next is exchange traded gold funds. Exchange traded gold funds require a broker, require a demat account, and you have to buy through a broker. These are the various, it's not legible, just to give out the performance. Over a period of 10 years, the gold mutual funds, they give about 10% of returns over a period of 10 years. What we need to see in selecting a gold fund is the expense ratio. Expense ratio is the amount of cost involved in holding the gold bond in a gold mutual fund. Right. So it is about in the range of 0.1 to 0.2%. I'll discuss more about that. Various gold ETFs are available, and they are really they give a similar 10% return over a period of 10 years, but they have a higher expense ratio. Expense ratio that is about in the range of 1%. SEBI has limited that.
Sorry sir, very sorry to interrupt. There is a car parked in a no parking zone, GJ05RM4255. GJ05RM4255. Thank you.
So comparing the two forms, the gold mutual fund and the ETFs, both are investing in gold or gold-related assets. Gold mutual funds, they also sometimes, some of them also invest into the companies related to gold, like mining and refining companies. But gold ETF, they are directly investing into gold asset. They don't invest into companies. So as I already told, demat is not required for mutual funds, but it is required for gold ETFs. Cost, what we saw in the mutual fund, that was 0.1 to 0.2. It is actually higher because gold mutual funds invest into gold ETFs. Indirectly, we are paying for the ETF expense ratio as well. So eventually the cost of the gold mutual funds, they are higher. Liquidity, that is, if you want to sell off the gold, then gold ETF you can sell off immediately and you can get it on the funds on the next day. While in gold mutual funds, they take at least 2 to 3 days for the funds to come back. Exit load is the expense which some mutual funds pay if you are holding it for less than 1 or 2 years. So that is an expense, additional expense for mutual fund. It is not there in gold ETFs. Taxation, I will discuss it in later section altogether. So cost increases diminishes the return overall because all of the asset class, all the options are investing into the gold per se. Whatever is the least expensive will give the highest return. Whatever has more expense will give a lower return. So this is what I wanted to say, because all the gold mutual funds, they invest indirectly or via fund of funds into ETFs, and they have both the expense ratios are added up. Sovereign gold bond is a wonderful investment avenue which was introduced by the government of India in 2014. This has since its introduction, it has been one of the most favorite and one of the best paper gold investment options available for all of us as investors. Nearly 72,000 crores of money has been raised by the government. These are basically bonds which have been linked to the price of gold. There are various calculations to determine the price of gold, but they are market traded, they are listed on the exchanges, and their prices fluctuate based on the prices of gold. And till now, 67 tranches have been introduced. First issue was in November 2015. Last, unfortunately, has been only in the last financial year, February 2024. Till now, we have not had any new issues of gold bonds because there have been rumors that it's been expensive for the government. Because of the extreme appreciation, the past two years, gold has given a return of nearly 20 to 30% per year. So it has become an expensive affair for the government, and government is not considering, probably will stop issuing new gold bonds. But still we have options of investing into gold bonds through secondary markets. So there are various, there have been maturity of nearly about 5 to 6 previously issued bonds which are not available. The rest of the 60 odd gold bonds are still available for investing through DMAT in secondary markets. You can find the data in various websites. This is one of them showing the series, the face value, units, various details. And there's another website which helps us identify which gold bond is good for purchase. There is, because of this non-issuance of new gold bonds, there is developed a premium. There is a significant premium which is developed in the recent majority of the gold bonds. So I've done this research on my own that the issue, because the premium is due to the interest which is pending. The gold bonds give out 2.5% of annual interest income on top of the gold price appreciation. So all the bonds which are yet to mature, the last one which was issued, that is in February 32, that has nearly about 1,000 rupees of payment, which is the interest payment which is yet to be received. So that is added into the gold price, and it is sold at a very high premium, or nearly 10% of premium in the markets. So this you can see, this is a chart, gold chart, the bottom yellow thing, the line is the gold chart on MCX. All the line charts are the gold, various issues, various series of sovereign gold bond. The yellow one on the top, that is the February 32 issue. That is trading nearly at 10% of premium from the actual gold price. But still, it is advisable to take a sovereign gold bond. Because of a very large tax benefit that I subsequently discussed. Compared to that, if we take the most popular gold ETF, that is the gold bees, they are trading at nearly about 20-30% of a discount. So they are one of the options, but still, the sovereign gold bond, despite being at premium, they are best investment of choice. So this taxation of gold, once we understand that, we will come to understand which option to take, which investment to take. The recent update detailed budget which was released, it clarified a lot of confusion between the short-term and the long-term capital gains. And this was due to the classification of physical gold and digital gold and mutual funds. They are classified as unlisted securities. And the holding period for them to be considered as a long-term has been fixed at 2 years. Before it was 3 years, 2 years, various confusion, various different values were there. And listed securities. Listed securities includes the gold ETFs and gold bonds. They have a holding period of 1 year or more to be considered as a long-term. Now, why does this help? Previously, gold ETFs were considered taxed at slab rate, whatever is the holding period. Now, because of the introduction of the long-term capital gains beyond the holding period of 1 year, it is taxed at long-term capital gains. Now, the long-term capital gain also has been simplified. For unlisted category, If it is held for less than 2 years, it is STGT, that is the slab rate. For gold ETF, if it is held less than 1 year, it is taxed at slab rate. For the long-term capital gain, it has been converted to 12.5%, and this is now without any indexation benefit. Even for the physical gold, the indexation benefit has been removed. The government justifies this that the capital appreciation which has already happened, it will give some amount of difference, some amount of loss, but overall the taxation will be similar. With indexation 20% and without indexation 12.5%. The calculation the government which has shown as the taxation is somewhat similar. So right now, as I showed, physical gold and gold mutual funds, they are taxed as long-term capital gains if they are held 2 years or more, and it is the long-term capital gains is 12.5%. For the listed securities, that is ETFs and global gold bonds, the long-term is for more than 1 year, and same, the long-term capital gain tax is 12.5%. So this is effective for the physical gold from the day of the implemented budget, but for the listed securities, it is effective from the 1st of April of next year. Sorry, this year.
SGBs are tax-free, huh?
That's what I'm coming to. So taxation of SGBs is a bit of a conundrum. SGB have a very specific benefit of being tax-free. The capital gains of the gold bond being tax-free if they are held till maturity. Also, there is a very good caveat that if you prematurely redeem it, if you redeem it through the RBI gives out notifications for premature redemption of the gold bond. Then also the proceeds, the capital gains which are accumulated, they are tax-free. Only and only you are taxed in gold bonds when you sell it in the secondary market. If you are selling it in the secondary market, then holding period will come into play of 1 year. If you are held it for less than 1 year, it will be taxed at slab rate, that is the STT rate for the listed securities. If you have held it for at least 1 year, then it will be taxed at 12.5%. So, this is the place where the tax benefit comes into picture. Even if you hold the gold bond for at least 1 year, you will be taxed at 12.5. Most of us are coming into the 30% slab rate, right? And the added benefit of the premature redemption being tax-free is also a very big advantage because it is exempt from taxes. This reduces our cost burden, and whatever reduces our cost will increase the returns of the overall gold allocation. Additionally, the SGBs pay out annually 2.5% into separate equal tranches. That is taxed at the slab rate. So that additional interest is what is being charged as a premium for taking this sovereign gold bond in the secondary market right now. So what to choose? We have discussed 4 options. The 5th option I won't discuss in this forum. So we have to start with the cost, taxation, liquidity, risk, and in the end, we consider the returns. So in physical gold, the costs are high. Costs are high because of various GST. Even despite government reducing the taxes from 15 to 6%, the charges are quite high because locker charges, insurance charges, maintenance charges will be there for physical gold, and that itself will reduce the returns, and it gives the lowest returns of all the 5 classes of gold investment options. Digital gold I will not discuss too much because it's an unregulated. Mutual funds, the cost of mutual fund, ETF and SCVs is low, but they will be having its own demat and non-demat holdings. That is the only disadvantage you will have. Mutual funds, they need a minimum investment of about 500 rupees. In multiple of 500 rupees it can be invested. In ETF, we at least have to buy 0.01 units, that is 1 gram of gold, 0.01 gram of gold. For SGVs, there are a lot of benefits except for the pricing, but I justified the pricing because of the interest which is being paid out. It can be still bought at premium. So, because of the tax-free maturity, because of the holding period of 8 years, and the value being graded at 99.9% purity, it will give you the highest returns in all the categories right now. Other risk factors with like theft will be there in physical gold. Liquidity is good in majority of the holdings, because but in case of physical gold, you may have to sell off at a cheaper rate in case of an emergency sale. ETFs have an excellent liquidity. SCBs, they need to be sold if they are to be sold. They need to be sold in the secondary market, and the liquidity depends on the maturity you are holding. The recent 2023, 2024 release ones, they are easily liquid and they can easily be sold. The earlier ones, you can go for a premature redemption window that opens up every 6 months at the time of the interest payment. So selling SCBs also is not a very big issue, and if it is planned accordingly. So for the take-home message, gold is an essential part of our portfolio. 10 to 20% of our allocation should be done for gold investments. Paper gold is preferred over physical gold due to various reasons I highlighted. SCBs still remain the best choice despite the premium, but future is uncertain. Let's see what happens in the budget in February. There is an allocation for servicing the SCB. There is a budget is allocated, but what the government will do, we don't know yet. Physical gold is getting its shine back because of the reduction in the duty, and it can be considered as a good option. But gold ETFs can be considered now due to the improved taxation and long-term gain of 12.5%. Thank you. So presently, the February 32 series that has the highest maturity. So 7 years, 7+ years of maturity is still there. So we should go for that. If we are getting
Is there any discount or is there any premium?
it is a premium. All the SCBs are at premium. Right now, 76,000 is the for 10 grams of gold. So 1 unit of SCB is 1 gram, and the lowest SCB, the recent lowest is all are more than 8,000. So there's a significant premium.
Thank you very much, sir. I request Chairperson Dr. Ranjan Gupta to felicitate Dr. Dumaswala. I request Dr. Dilip Rampare to felicitate Dr. Ranjan Gupta. I request Dr. Hiren
I request Dr. Kamlesh Parekh to felicitate Dr. Birwa.
Sir, camera on also. ચાંદ્રમાવો ને ચાંદ્રમાવો વચ્ચે ઉભા રહેજો સાહેબ મારે બાકી છે મેડમ.
I request Dr. Sandeep Kansal to felicitate Dr. Dinky Rajiwal.
ફોટો પાડીને ઉભા રહેજો. ચાલો ડન.
I thank you so much, Dr. Dinky Rajiwala and Dr. Birwa, for so very good comparing of the program. Thank you so much. And as Secretary of Indian Medical Surat, I, Dr. Hiren Vaidya, thank all the delegates for coming to this gathering. No program can be successful without delegates. So thank you so much. I thank so much to speakers. All learned speakers have enlightened us. Dr. Dinsho, Dr. Mahendra, Dr. Vikram Lotwala, Dr. Bhagirath Nayak and Dr. Ankit Dumaswala and Mr. Sanjay Sinha. I thank sponsors, Mr. Amar Desai and all his team. I thank office bearers. Dr. Ranjan Gupta, you have come from Valsad for this program. Thank you so much. I thank all my friends, Dr. Anil Patel and Dr. Harshal Goya, and all friends, doctor friends, non-doctor friends. Thank you so much.